Hello, PreCalc. You'll be viewing this after Wednesday's class on the 28th, so you may have a few test questions to work on tonight, so don't forget that, and I hope the test went well for you. And if it didn't, we are going to do a full court press to get you where you need to be. So we'll talk about that more tomorrow. But for tonight, what I need you to do is basically set up for class tomorrow. We're going to be graphing the sine, cosine, and tangent curves. So I'm going to put you into groups rather than just tell you what the curves are. I'm going to have you develop the curves. So group number 1, we're going to have Alex, Maggie, and Andrew work on the cosine curve. And we'll call you Black Hawk Up. It's a positive name. All right. Group number 2, Kevin, Bree, and Shannon. You'll work on the sine curve, and that we'll call you A Few Great People. And Haley, Dan, Maddie. Someone's missing. Who is it? And person who is missing. I'll call you Uncommon Vision, and you'll be working on the tangent. So, all right. So let's go ahead and find out what we're supposed to do in order to make the class go more quickly and our task speed up a little tomorrow. I need you to write down this chart. So write in your comp book, put the name of your function that you've been assigned to, and on this, and then have this chart. It's a little bit long, so that's why it will help. All right, so in your comp book, start with the chart, and we're going to put the value for x. So that's the x value in this chart. And tomorrow we'll come in and we'll find the function's value. So say you're in the tangent group. You're going to put tangent x in the next group, the next column. And then you're going to put, even though they're demonic, we're going to put decimals to help us make the graph on the next column. All right, so yours might not say tangent, depending on what group I just assigned you. All right, so the part we're going to fill in right now to save time is all the values for x. So we're going to do 0, pi over 6. So we're going to go around by 6, 1/6 pi, 2/6 pi. Notice I reduce as I go, 3/6 pi. And it'd be nice if you made yours neat. Mine is not. All right, so that's 1/6, 2/6, 3/6, 4/6 pi. So if you used a ruler or straight edge, it would be nice. 5/6 pi, 6/6 pi, 7/6 pi, 8/6 pi, 9/6 pi, 10/6 pi, 11/6 pi, 12/6 pi. And if you had started somewhere in your comp book and the chart gets too long, you can just start another column in your comp book or even go on to the next page. It is no matter. So 11/6 pi, 12/6 pi. All right. So then I want you to keep going. We don't normally keep going, but we're going to keep going for a while. So that's 12/6 pi, 13/6 pi, 14/6 pi, 15/6 pi, 16/6 pi, 17/6 pi, 18/6 pi, 19/6 pi, 20/6 pi, 21/6 pi, 22/6 pi, 23/6 pi, 24/6 pi, 25/6 pi, 26/6 pi, 27/6 pi, 28/6 pi, 29/6 pi, 30/6 pi, 31/6 pi, 32/6 pi, 33/6 pi, 34/6 pi, 35/6 pi, 36/6 pi, 37/6 pi, 38/6 pi, 39/6 pi, 40/6 pi, 41/6 pi, 42/6 pi, 43/6 pi, 44/6 pi, 45/6 pi, 46/6 pi, 47/6 pi, 48/6 pi, 49/6 pi, 50/6 pi, 51/6 pi, 52/6 pi, 53/6 pi, 54/6 pi, 55/6 pi, 56/6 pi, 57/6 pi, 58/6 pi, 59/6 pi, 60/6 pi, 61/6 pi, 17, 14, 15, 6 pi. Oh, that reduces to what? 15 over 6, 5 halves. All right, 15 sixths pi. 15 6 pi, 16s, 13, 14. Let's see if I got this. 12 6 pi, 13 6 pi, 14 sixths pi, 15 sixth pi, 17 sixth pi, 17 pi over 6, 18 sixth pi, which is back to 3 pi. I think that's long enough. Let's go ahead and stop there. So I hope you have a chart that looks a little better than my freehand one. But have that chart ready to go for tomorrow in your comp book. And just copy it down. So if you missed a spot, just go back or pause and fill it in. In addition, I need you to get a graph ready. Now I recommend going long ways in your comp book. So let me see if I can pull back a little. All right, going long ways, and I will ask you to put those values on an x-axis, and we'll have a y-axis as well. All right, so let's say we go up to 1 and down to -1 to get us started on our y-axis, and let us start putting in the values for the x's along this axis. So I'm going to put in, you could just put in some rhythmic tick marks and we'll name them as we go. Pi over 6, pi over 3, these are coming right from the chart, 0. Pi over 2, pi over 2 pi over 3. Make sure your values are right under the tick mark that they're referring to, so you might write small or graph larger. Pi. So I got 2 pi over 3, 5 pi over 6, pi, 7 pi over 6, 4 pi over 3, 3 pi over 2, 5 pi over 3. What's that one? 11 pi over 6. 12 pi is 2 pi. 13 pi over 6. 7 pi over 3. 15 pi over 6 was, what was that? 15 pi over 6, divide by 3. 5 pi over 2. 17 pi over 6, and 3 pi. All right, hope those show up. And you heard me speak them anyway. Let's go in this direction for a little bit. I didn't do that on the chart, did I? All right, I might have to go back and add those. So let's go in this. Sum to the left of 0 will be negative, so I'm going to grab these numbers, but they're going to be negative. So we end up with negative pi over 6, negative pi over 3, pi over 2, 2 pi over 3, 5 pi over 6, and negative, 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 and negative pi. I think that's good enough. So I want to add those to my chart. So back to chart land here. So I ran out of space. I'm sure you have as well at some point. So I'm just going to start over somewhere and put in negative pi over 6, negative pi over 3, negative pi over 2, negative 2 pi over 3, negative 5 pi over 6, and the last value is negative pi. All right, I might end up adding some more as we do this exercise, but for now, if you get that all set up, there's your chart, and here's the beginning of your graph. So since it's a long graph, I recommend it goes sideways into your comp book in such a way that all those values fit. All right, I think that's all I'm going to do for tonight. I'm leaving time for you to finish some test problems if time was an issue. All right, I will talk to you tomorrow, and have a good rest of your evening. Bye.